What's going on, everyone? So we have made it back home from Colorado. Long trip. We've done a couple of these now where I think we left on the 22nd of August, and it's our September 2nd. Figured I would go through, and as we're emptying the truck out, packing everything away, figured it'd be best to show you what we actually use, because we always overpack. So the goal with this is to show you what we use, and it'll also help us as well to not overpack. You gotta learn what you're actually going to use when you're out and about. Let's unload this truck and figure out what we used and what we didn't. That we know what we need to take next time. Are you ready to see a hot mess? This is how everything's packed to get home. This is after being out camping. We did unload our clothes because we got home late last night and we had our like shampoos and all that in here. So they were all stacked here. I was carrying cases of water down here, and then the clothes just on top. Shower tent right in the middle. I was using bungee cords to kind of hold things tight up against here. My recovery gear was right here, so I could just swing open this window and grab it. Nice and simple. We'll go through this and empty it out. Obviously, you're not gonna be too worried about shoes. We always like to have an extra pair. There's been plenty of times you're just stepping a puddle or whatever, and you get one set wet. So we usually always have an extra pair with us. We'll go over what we used. Obviously, the fridge. I mean, this thing got used a ton. It actually changed my mind a lot. We weren't really sure if we liked it because we were having issues in the past with it turning on and off. That was in the settings in the EcoFlow. Now we did that, I changed the battery cutoff to high. I think that helps it maintain its temperature, because this thing would, if you had to set it 34 or 36, sometimes you would see it down at 30 and then go up to like 40. It'd have a huge variance in temperature. But when I set that to high, it worked out a lot better. Of course, air down, up and down. Those got used a lot. We did use the fire pit like once or twice. This is always a questionable. We need to get a smaller fire pit because we don't really use this one a whole lot.
Or just not take the fire pit because we don't use it a whole lot.
See? We still carry 20 pound. We don't want to run out of propane. The Jokola shower tent gets set up all the time. I personally don't like it just because I got to set it up and down, and then it's got the standard ground temp problem with where you set it up at. When you pick it up, the bottom that sits on the ground itself, it's got all the condensation on it. So then you're squeezing it together. Cold mornings usually, even in the sunlight in Colorado, you know, until it's like 11 a.m. or noon, still a little chilly, right? That's my biggest complaint with that. I'm not sure if I track down a tarp as a footprint and put it down, if that would help stop that. I don't think it would. Anyways, nothing actually wrong with the tent. I just can't stand having to squeeze it and putting it in the bag. That'll continue to go with us. This is my box of tools. I'll always have tools. Didn't have to use a whole lot this trip. I did have this out, and I got a wrench. I don't know where it went. To hook my cousin's sway bar on and off her Jeep. Let's see, one of the main things that we packed that we didn't, this is probably a big thing. So I've got I think these are 7 gallon. They're 5 or 7 gallons. I think they're 7. I have 3 of them. 3, not 2, 3. Because we have a Jokola water heater too. So we're going to shower. I knew we were not always going to be camping right at a stream of water. Never used them. It's too cold. Didn't think about that. You know, nobody wants to shower when it's 40 degrees. Now, if we would have camped lower in elevation, would have been a lot better off. I want to say probably every single camp we was at, we were at least 10,000 feet. In our experiences with the Jokola, it's got an on and off on the shower head, so you don't have to be near the water heater itself. We haven't really tried a whole lot of times. I think we've only done it 2 times now, where you'll end up using most all of one of these per person. Now we probably could be a little quicker as far as, you know, real quick shut it off, but we're not in there just soaking in the times and thinking about everything like you can at home, you know. We're trying to be quick about it. Yeah, my kid's mowing right now. But we don't got any time. We got basically 3 hours to get this unloaded, so, and here I am doing this. So water, we overpacked on water a lot. I don't like the way the water tastes out of these, even though we have never had non-potable water. Everything that's been in these still to this date has came from like our water faucet at home or someplace where it's drinkable water. I can tell a difference even when we cook with it. If we're not going to be needing a shower, I don't think I'm going to pack water like that. I think I might take one maybe, because it's kind of convenient when you're washing dishes. We have a little on and off spout like a Dometic that we put on here. It's got a button, you push it and it's got a little spigot and you push it again and it shuts off, you know. Fire pit's probably not going to go anymore. I kind of want to get a smaller one, something a lot more compact. We usually don't hang out a whole lot at nighttime. We took extra gas because she's a big girl. Luckily we didn't need it. We actually, on all of our off-road adventures, I think the lowest we got down to was a quarter tank, and then we were in a town where I could fuel up. Granted, some of those towns went $5 a gallon. That hurt. Name of the game. So I did not use fuel. I did want to get a Rotopax. I just kind of ran out of time. I was gonna make a mount to go on here on the back of my swing out and mount the Rotopax, but I just ran out of time, never got around to it. So luckily we didn't need gas. So we wasted a lot of water. I hauled 21 gallons of water, pretty sure, for the fun of it. We did use this one. It's like half used. We used that to wash dishes and clean the toothbrushes, you know, stuff like that. So that's up top, that's all that stuff. I'm gonna go through and yeah, I'm gonna take it all down. So hold on. Got the slide emptied off. Another thing that gets used a lot, having the lady. That's the pop-up toilet in the Jokola tent, right? That's probably the main reason why that tent gets used. Actually, it is. It's not probably. It is the main reason. Try and get the wife out there. That helps. Now I've got, I don't have a hard-mounted fire extinguisher, so I just put it in my little box here, along with the first aid. I got the Devos light over here. We did not use the first aid, luckily, didn't need to. The Devos lights, however, got used a lot. So I'll charge these back up. Of course, they worked amazing. Then the way I ran power to the fridge was I slid my back window open on the topper to run a cord through, and I opened up my slider window on my truck. Now, with the seal on the truck, it actually sealed up really well. So that worked out good. Then I ran my cord up along here with the bungee cord. That way it wouldn't get pinched up here. Of course, we use the power a lot. The alternator charger right here worked amazing. Charged this guy up. We had it sitting over there because we had the dog bed here. We put his dog food bowl, water bowl here. Jump pack, which got used. I'm a big believer in them. It wasn't for us, the cousin. Her battery got ran down because a chiller, instead of a fridge, a chiller, pulled the battery down too much. We used the heck out of that. Huge win, huge win. So all that will be with us all the time. Then, right down in here, extra extension cord. I had to buy that green adapter in Colorado. What normally is a, I don't know, $1 adapter was like $4. Colorado tax, you know. The reason why, I would run that into the cab, not into the topper though. I'd run it up into the tent. We slept in, man, I don't remember the exact elevation, 12,000. Really, it's super close to 12,000. I think it was a little more than 12, which made it cold. That's for a heating blanket we have in the tent. It's a household heating blanket, so it uses 110. It is a power-hungry beast. With the fridge plugged in, cold at night, so the fridge probably barely ran, and the heating blanket on 6. 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Running at 6, we ran it down to 21% or 24%, somewhere in there, but it kept us toasty warm. Worth it. Carrying the plug-ins, I should get a little bag. It worked really good. That worked good. So I don't know if you guys are very familiar with our dog Hemi. He is basically a 16-year-old lab. He did not adventure with us very much, but I brought cleaning supplies just in case, because he's got cancer, all kinds of other things, just, you know, arthritis and everything. He doesn't give you enough notice when he needs to go. So we used the cleaning supplies as well. Had one or 2 accidents, I think, in the truck. But having the cleaning supplies right there, you never even noticed. You could never tell. It didn't smell like it ever. If you got dogs, dogs, kid, you know. Luckily the kid didn't make a mess in the truck. The dog did. But cleaning supplies, just to get it touched up quick instead of having to drive somewhere to get some kind of a cleaning supply to make your trip inside not bad. We did use that. So, but this will be the last time our dog will end up on a trip. He is getting to where he's not mobile, in pain. So this very well might be his last week. I'm not sure when the wife is going to make that decision. He had a great run. He beat a lot of odds. And over the last few years, we got him out and he got to experience stuff that, you know, most dogs don't. So, of course, we use the air hose a lot because I can't use the 4-tire air up systems like the 4x4 Colorado. We like this one a lot. We also have a Moreflate 4-tire inflation. None of them have a long enough section of hose for me to have my gauge back here. It won't reach. The gauge ends up having to be way up by the back tire because of the overhang. So I would use that blue hose, plug into that air chuck right there, and run it to the front of the truck. It seemed a lot nicer out there. Now, with this NH Overland kit that I put in, it has an air chuck here. I don't mind that. I did use it just to see. For one, the bracket's a little too flimsy here. So, you know, it's not, you gotta use 2 hands. Hear my leak? I gotta fix that. That's an installer error, not their error. I don't have a hose pushed in all the way underneath. But we use that a lot too. So I guess the main thing we overpacked on was water. We haven't gotten to the drawers yet, but you'll see there's some more stuff that we didn't touch. We're in the drawers. This is where it gets a little interesting. So this trip, we ended up doing a lot of town hopping, walking around in the towns and everything, checking all the stuff out, going into all the shops, which meant we're in town for lunch, and there was times we were in town for supper. So this whole drawer is basically our food, kitchen, dry storage, stuff like that, right? We'll just dig in. This is what we have left of marshmallows from s'mores. If you have kids, or even, not gonna lie, adults, s'mores, camping, come on, right? S'mores are great. Parmesan, we were gonna make spaghetti, did not happen. We do not need to carry this many containers of fuel for the Jetboil. Could have been fine with 2. Could have been fine with 1, actually, because we use that to boil water for coffee occasionally in the mornings, not very often. Freeze-dried meals. These things are amazing. I feel like you need to have them because when you're out on a trail trying to find camp and you go and you find, you know, say you even plan it out and you're like, yeah, this area's got like 4 or 5 camping spots, you know, I'll mark them out. You get there, they're all taken, or the road's closed. You can't actually go to them because some recent event that happened, maybe even just a day before, right? So you can't get to those camps. Now you got to pivot and go and find different camps. Then you're going, it's getting dark, and next thing you know, it's 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. You haven't had supper, you haven't set up camp yet. People are getting hangry, grumpy, ready to go to bed. You got to be quick. You can't, I mean, yes, you could technically set up the stove and do all that and then cook the food and then clean the dishes and all that. Or you can simply bust out one of these cans, bust out a Jetboil or some other burner like that that heats water rapidly. Read on the back of how much water, right? Read on the back how much water to add, follow the instructions, and within, okay, this one takes 10 minutes after you put the boiling water in there. Cheesy chicken and broccoli. So you boil the water with that Jetboil, like a minute. You'll have all the water boiled you need for that. It tells you how much to measure out, right? Also, fun fact, this bottom green ring right here is a measuring cup. Boil the water, pour it in there, boom, you got supper going. I mean, hard to beat, right? And then cleanup is basically your silverware. This time around, we did something different. We did something different now. It did create more waste, which is not ideal, but we are using plastic silverware. Worked fine. It's just more waste, right? But the idea was we didn't want to be doing dishes and all that forever. Olive oil leaked. Dang it. I highly recommend having something to get water boiled quickly and freeze-dried meals. We used them twice, 2 nights, I think. The kid will eat SpaghettiOs right out of the can. I don't get it. I don't know why, but he does. So it's a good backup. And I tell you what, compared to, I don't remember what these cost right off the bat, $15 or something like that. $1 something. We bought these in Colorado, so they're like $2. You know, tourist town. But he'll crack it open and that's supper. Freeze-dried meals. Now, something else that we did try that was a failure. Epic proportions. I have a 20-pound propane tank that was in there. I have the hose that hooks onto it that goes down to your little 1 pound. So it has that 1 pound side to it, so you can hook it right onto your camp stoves. Right, no adapters or nothing. It's the hose designed to go right to the propane and right to that. In a hurry, I'm like, you know what? I want to be able to get a longer hose. Bought this. Basically, it's an extension hose and the adapter. Fail. This regulates the pressure down too much. We couldn't use the camp stove. We couldn't use the fire pit with this hose. All this was just a fail. I think this is $35 and $12, so just call it 50 bucks, wasted. So I just took it to where I could take the propane tank in and out. After the first night of trying to cook, that's what happened. I will not be taking that hose anymore. Freeze-dried meals. Amazing. And these taste good, okay? Mountain House, Peak, Refuel. We personally seem to lean more towards the Peak at this point. They're really good. This is also full of freeze-dried meals. More than we needed to take, but options are also a bonus. This very well changed what we need to take for cooking. That is a stove, a pot, a pan, a strainer, all in that. So we took that. It worked great, actually, after we figured out our problems. Yes, olive oil. Olive didn't want to be in her container no more. All right, so it worked great. Very precise controls, a little spendy, but in all honesty, after we figured out our propane issue, because man, the first night using it, I thought Ange was gonna say, done, right? No more. After that, and we figured out the propane issue, I think we got a winner. She likes it. It cooks fast. You got great temperature controls, and the pot and pan. Okay, we use those. They have a pretty decent non-stick coating on them. Now, she is essentially the cast iron queen, is what I'm going to call her. Everything at home, it's all cast iron. That's it. Everything is cast iron. We did not use cast iron this time of camp. Normally we do. We actually brought it back behind all of our bread. Didn't use it once. We will no longer be taking cast iron. That'll be nice. We brought a lot of bread because once again, I said we were going to be eating on the trails, but we ended up in a lot of towns for lunch and suppers.
Because somebody didn't listen.
I did not think it was going to go that way. I have officially been
It
proven
always
wrong.
goes that way.
We have officially probably wasted close to $100 in food. The bread's probably still okay.
Yeah.
There's going to be some smushed bread.
I don't know about
Hey,
that one.
does anybody want a loaf of bread? It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. The king, though, is definitely going inside. We'll eat that, flat or not. This is something else. This is the first time we actually brought extra bags. I was informed to not get the zipper ones. Luckily, we didn't have any problems. But having gallon freezer bags at camp, priceless, okay? We used them a lot, actually. Every meal we made was in paper bowls, so we didn't even use paper plates. And way up in here, that's where I got the cast iron tucked away. I no longer have to haul that. That Jetboil solved that problem. Yeah, it's great. I don't have to carry cast irons. I'll tell you right now, if in transit I broke her cast irons, you probably wouldn't see my face on the camera no more. It works good enough. The non-stick works good enough to where we're okay. Okay, I just asked Ange, because she came out and grabbed her cast irons, because we use them all the time. We don't have a set for camping and a set for the house. We use the ones from the house for camping. Anyways, so, or we did. I asked her, what she thought about the Jetboil pot and pan. The pot, good to go. The pan, the sides are a little short. Pan is questionable. Worst case scenario, I might have to carry some kind of a pan separate, but we are also cooking for 4 adults and 1 kid. We don't normally have to do that, but my cousin, we didn't want her to go and buy all kinds of stuff to go out and do this in her own vehicle if she's not going to enjoy it. So we were offering all of our help that we could offer to get her out and see. She's been with us in our vehicles many times. That's a whole different game. If she asks what she needs to get to do this more often, we'll get her in the right direction. But normally we will not need to cook for 4 adults. So when you guys toast marshmallows, do you have people that just eat them straight marshmallows, toasted marshmallows? Because that's what we ran into. It's kind of unique. The cousin was eating the marshmallow. She just heat them up and eat them. So we have a lot of graham crackers left. Of course, there's no Hershey bars left, but we actually used, all those got used for s'mores. These click chairs. They have a high back. I do not have a high back. That was my complaint with these. So maybe one time I'll get the high back. Obviously, you need a camp chair. I mean, this time around, we did not take a camp table at all. This was the table. Kinda sucks. You gotta really think through everything you need from inside the drawer system and the fridge. Then it's okay. We'll probably continue without a table because that's worked out. French press, kid loved it. Of course, that's our utensils. If I would not have had the cast irons, it would have easily fit in here. Easily, right? If you're gonna have the toilet, you need the bags. I take more bags than what I think I'm gonna need. That way, you don't run out. I noticed in Colorado, a lot of places are selling bags individually, and I bought this whole box at Bass Pro Shop for like 1/16 of the cost what they're charging, right? Keep that in mind. Don't run out of them because you're gonna pay dearly for them. Paper towels and toilet paper, invaluable, obviously. I mean, I had 1 roll of shop towels, blue towels, you know, paper towels, and then 2 rolls of paper towels. So I had to air up when it was raining pretty good. And I didn't have my topper. I opened it and I had the paper towels here. And the water came in at one spot there. I must have a little crack in the weather stripping or something, or it was on the hinge, and it dripped all over the roll of shop towels and the roll of paper towels. Trashed them both. Soggy, right? I did buy another roll while we were there. Toilet paper went out with 2 full rolls, so we came back with, right? Not just because the bathroom blowing your nose, whatever. It seems like that was the grab all instead of paper towels. I don't know. It's all good though. It works, right? Another thing, I said we took a lot of water for showers and stuff, didn't use it. Well, body wipes. Now, nowhere close to a shower, right? Not bad. It'll wipe dirt off, get smell off and all that. It's not a shower. I don't remember the exact schedule that we did. We did end up in a hotel one night while camping because it was rainy and late when we got back off a trail that had no camping. I actually found a room, right? I found 2 rooms. Everybody's like, yes, done, go now. So we drove late into the night to get to the hotel. I think we went 3 days maybe, and then 2 days. I don't know. Either way, we went days without an actual shower. These help a lot, all right? They are not a replacement. The wife's complaint with this is the hair. Your hair gets the dust in it and everything. These don't really take care of that, right? So, but these worked fine for me. I'm okay with it. Another thing I noticed. Oh, well, now it's gonna work, whatever. In Colorado, that one didn't want to light. So obviously there's something about elevation I'm unaware of. These would not light, hardly at all. I could barely get the first one I pulled out. I could barely get that one to light. This one, the second one, never lit once in Colorado. So there's something to do with elevation, I assume. I don't know. Having ways of lighting fire. In my situation, it was the fire pit. Trying to light it because it does not have an igniter. So you got to manually light it. Now, I do have a backup. I'm not really fond of having the propane running while trying to, do that. I could have lit the rope, that's what it's designed for, and then use that to start it, but never actually had to bust it out, but I did have the option. I never used my fan in Colorado. It was cold enough at night, we didn't want fans, we wanted heat. And that was due to elevation. We'd look at the temperatures in like Ouray and the towns, overnights, and it was questionable for the temp, where you kind of want some air movement possibly. Elevation, nope, you don't want no fan. Trash bags. Trash is a big subject. It is tough. We have learned that tourist towns with camping around and stuff, getting rid of trash is pretty tough. Nobody, every place has just tiny little trash can, all that, so it's really hard to get rid of trash. We have gone out with contractor bags that fit in this trash bag real good. Problem is you can't get rid of that bag. We couldn't get nobody to let us dump it, or anything, like at a gas station or whatever. A big old contractor bag, nope, you're not throwing that in our dumpster type of thing. So we have a lot of plastic bags, little plastic bags here, grocery sacks. I got them all tucked in here in the corner. Worked really good. Problem is at camp, nobody would care to actually dig in here and put them in an actual bag. So they do that, open it up and just throw something in here. Now it's not in the bag. Now you get to go in there and clean it out at a gas station. No, disgusting. I don't want to. It's okay like water bottles or whatever, not a big deal. But then you get like the wipes and no, I don't want to. The toilet bags. I have regular trash bags that we use inside our house. They are not full size. They don't go in there and go all the way around the edges like the contractor bag. But they hang up high enough to where usually when they open that trash bag on the tire, drop something in there, it'll at least go in here, all right? And then you can take this, only let it get so full, and you take it out, and it's essentially the same as what one of these is. And when you're fueling up for getting gas, which I frequently visit gas stations. I'll take my bag out of there and I can put it into their trash can at the gas station, right at the pump. Small enough, because all of them have the small square holes, or the small round holes. But you do that and then you're fresh again. If you're out for multiple days, at one point I had 3 of these bags ready to go in here. And you can get rid of it a lot easier than one huge bag. That trash bag on the tire will go all the time too. It's nice not having to store trash in your vehicle. Now, while at camp, that's a whole new thing. There was plenty of times where we were camping and it was you get that vibe. You look around, you got some trees, you're next to a stream, which is where everybody wants to be, right? Next to the water and stuff. Guess what else wants to be there? Animals. I would take the trash bag off my tire and put it in here just so it's not easily accessible. And I had my keys in the tent, so if an animal was down here rustling around trying to get in, I could set the alarm off or hit the lock and unlock button, which would activate all the deals and the lights and stuff, and deter them and scare them off, That was my plan. I didn't actually have to do that. Here is the water heater. I got all the hoses tucked back behind it. You see how much further? That goes right to the edge of the deck system. This goes, I can't even reach the back of it right now where I'm standing because of my tailgate. It goes back a whole nother section like this, beyond where my hand is. So I got all the hoses, the filters and everything back there. We did not use it. That's questionable. Because if you're not going to shower, or if you're going to split it up and do a few days out and then a hotel, just get some wipes. It'll save you from hauling all that water, hauling the water heater, all that. Honestly, I would like to not have to take the shower tent, but it works good for a changing room as well and a bathroom. I probably won't win that battle. No sense in hauling it all if you know you're gonna end up at a hotel or something like that. And maybe you have to do that to keep the wife going with you or the family. A lot of people are doing that. They'll go and they'll shower at they'll go out and do their thing for a few days, hit a hotel or an Airbnb. I mean, heck, you could, truck stops. They're not glorious showers, but neither are hotels, right? If you're not gonna shower at camp, or well, I guess, unless it's super hot out, that'd be the thing. Arkansas, the National Forest, stuff like that, yeah, you're gonna want to shower. You just need to know where you're going. Colorado, I don't think I'll ever take water to shower again because of the time of year we go. Late August, early September, it doesn't really make sense, right? That pretty much sums it up, other than like inside the truck, but we don't have a lot shoved in here. We did take a lot of the Peak Refuel drink pouches, or mixes, which she already emptied them out of here. Basically, they're little flavor packets you shake up and you pour in your water bottle. We noticed that seemed to help a lot with elevation. It flavors the water, so it makes you want to drink water, but it has a lot of vitamins and stuff. There was a few times that we were dealing with headaches. You just drink one of those pouches and it clears you up. Oh, it's because of the vitamins or what, but we'll be taking those everywhere we go now too. Never once did we open the awning. Could have when I was airing up and down, but I was airing up the cousin's Jeep, which was parked over beside me, so it wouldn't have done me any good. I guess that kind of sums it up. In our situation, we need to pack less water. Just need to get a Rotopax, even if it's only a 2-gallon. Something like that. And I think we'll be good to go. Main thing is get out there. You can go out there with nothing. You don't need a whole lot of anything. You need shelter and water. You can go out and just use freeze-dried meals. They're actually delicious, I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, well, I gotta open up the tent. We gotta get our clothes out of there, or not our clothes, our blankets and all that out of there, so that they can get washed up before our trip in 2 weekends. Let me know what you guys have figured out, what you don't need to take anymore. Maybe there's something I'm taking that I don't need to take. What's something that you always take that you don't really use? Let me know in the comments. You can check out the merch. I'm not wearing any right now. All of it's dirty. But we got hats, sweatshirts, t-shirts, all that good stuff. That'll be linked. If you like what we're doing, you want to help support us, getting us out in Colorado, every place else we can go and track down all these awesome camping spots for everybody, check out the Patreon.
If Patreon is not your thing, you can support us on youtube.com via the membership link from our channel. You will have access to special content, early releases, behind the scenes, and our waypoints via onyx.com, the same way as our Patreon members do now. The pricing for the YouTube memberships is the same as Patreon. The only difference is YouTube is going to charge you sales tax.
Like the video. You know, if you find this useful, just liking seems to help a lot, right? If you comment, you know, tell me what you thought you needed to take, what you no longer take, or what you think we should add to our mix, which would make our lives easier. Let me know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.